one thing I wanted to touch on, which is like just kind of speaking to like where I am in life in terms of competing in Smash. When I first really started getting good at Melee on a regional level, where I became the quote unquote king of Philly, where like I beat everybody in sets, no one could take me. I won at every tournament in like the Philadelphia region. Um, if there wasn't like a really strong like out of state player who like showed up, if it was all in state, it was just assured that I would win. Um, during that time, I didn't have a job, so it was like Melee was like my income, like paying bills, supporting my girlfriend, just doing general things. Like I had to get first to like make good money. And eventually when things got harder, that put a lot of stress on me. And it caused a lot of like kind of inner turmoil with like my competitive spirit, because it was more so less about like the journey of being like good and having fun with that. It was like I'm treating the thing that I enjoy the most as a job, and it
Yeah,
really messed with me in that case.
that's true
So
for
much so
everything
that I
too.
had to kind of like take a break to kind of recenter myself. The thing that's so great about PM for me now, I have a career, I have money, I'm good where I am in life. Uh, I spent money to get to this event. Overall probably only went like I made like $1,800 over that weekend. I
Mhm.
probably like made positive like 500 in terms of like what I invested to get there.
Yeah, like net is $300.
Yep. And the difference between losing the set against DVD right then and there and winning was about like $500 in terms of earnings and winnings. And I just
Right.
thought about it when I was waiting for my set. I was just like, damn, this would really stress me out knowing this like way before, but like
Oh yeah, I
I
get what you
don't
mean.
care.
Yeah,
Right,
I
you're
don't
not
care if
playing
I win
for
or
the
lose
money, right?
for the
Yeah.
money at all.
like if you
And that felt
lost,
so
obviously you want to win because like that's what you're there for. But if you lost, you're not going to be in a spiral of depression because like you fucking went in the hole and you don't have
Yeah.
the
yeah,
money.
it was just really liberating, and it made me really, really happy. And I think that also helped like just my general competitive nerves. I'm like, wow, like
I agree.
this like $500 difference means nothing to me. Like
Yeah,
I could lose right now and make zero money, which can't happen, but I could literally make zero money and it wouldn't matter to me at all.
that's really important because it helps with your mental so much. Like,
Mental is so big for competitive anything.
Yes.
It's so big. Like, yeah, you can have the technical play, you can have the right character, you can have the meta call, you can do all of those things. But at the end of the day, if your mental is just not there when it comes time to play, none of that matters. Like, you need to be mentally strong. Your fortitude just has to be top notch because I think that IBDW spoke to this when he won Summit, the last Melee Summit. That he won, or there might have been one after that by now, but I remember IBDW.
There was. Zane won the last one.
Right, so I can't
that's
even keep up
absurd.
anymore.
Like, there's too many. They got to
Yeah, because
relax.
that IBDW one, I feel like it just
Oh wait,
happened.
no. I'm being slow. You're
Okay,
right.
so I was going to say,
that was
the
last time. I was
IBDW
thinking
one
about Genesis.
just happened.
I was thinking about Genesis.
Okay, because Kenny and I literally just watched IBDW, and I was like, damn, that guy's really good.
Yeah, like it's been 2 months maybe, but it
Maybe
just
2
happened.
months. Yeah. Yes, that is still just happened to me. 60 days, within 60 days seems like pretty decent. But yeah, he won the last Smash Summit, but he spoke to like why he won it, and he said that it was all mental for him. Before he used to be a rager, he was one of those people that when he lost even one game or whatever, it just eats at him so much that he would end up losing a whole set off momentum because his mental's fucked up. The same thing is true for Tweak in Smash Ultimate. He has a mental block sometimes where he'll be up 2-0 against somebody, he'll lose one game, and normally, or I shouldn't say normally, but what a person should do is like recenter themselves. Like, okay, I was up 2-0, I almost closed it out. I end up losing a clutch game 3, right? That could have closed it out 3-0. He came back and won. He's up, now he has one game. And instead of being like, oh God, he's about to backdoor 3-0 me, which is I think what happens to people, you should just recenter yourself and say, okay, I'm just gonna do my best again, and I'm gonna clear this. I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna win 3-1. It's not a big deal. And even if you lose that one and it's 2-2, you're still like you have the counter pick. Like it's still in your favor. Like don't buckle. If I think one of the best things that I want people to start doing, especially in fighting games, and I've seen it work so many times, is if you are on the cusp of a backdoor 3-0, right? I think that for game, if it gets to game 5, stand up, grab a drink of water, like walk around a little bit and like clear your mind as best as you can. and sit back down and play. Because I think that when you just go back to back to back into the games, the crumbling just keeps happening. It just perpetuates. You literally see it by the time game 5 comes around. It's like,
You
holy
can see
shit,
it on their
man.
face,
You can see it on
especially it's like in the middle of the back door. You
Yo,
lose the first stock
Tweak?
again. You can always see the face of the person who was up 2-0. You can just see like the
If you want to
realization
see what
set in.
Stango's talking about, watch Evo 2019, I believe it was, Tweak versus MK Leo Evo finals. Tweak is in winner's bracket, MK Leo's in loser's bracket. Tweak is up 2 games, and they're in game 3, and he is 3 stocks to 1. So I can't even begin to tell you how far in this game is. Like, this whole thing is almost over. Tweak is about to win Evo. He's up 2 games, and it's game 3. He has 3 stocks. MKLeo has 1 stock.
For the Yu-Gi-Oh viewers, you have a 2800 beater on the board with lethal on board. You have 3 back row, and your opponent has to get through it. That's where he's at right now.
They're fucking top decking.
Yes, they're fucking top decking. You have 3 back row, a 2800 beater. That's the position he's in right now.
And because MKLeo is such a god, he comes back that game, right? So he wins that game. So now it's 2-1. And Tweak immediately, visibly, starts to crumble in front. Like, you can see it visibly, like Stango was talking about. You can see it happening. And he proceeds to get backdoor 3-0 that set, but that's not the end. Like, it has to go to the next set because he was in lose, like MKLeo was in loser. So he won the first set, but you have to beat Tweak twice. And then Tweak gets destroyed again the next set. It's just like, I think he just let it mentally destroy him. And that's
one
what we're
thing
kind of
as well with that. The thing that many people don't really like fixate on, like they're fixating on the narrative of like, yeah, this player is like falling apart. I've been in this position before, and I know for a fact that Frazier knows exactly what I'm talking about because I talk about competition with Frazier, where when you're kind of like at the apex of like your game in a competitive environment, you kind of get a little like psychopathic in terms of the way that you like feed off someone's emotions.
Yes.
If you see somebody crumbling like that because of what you're doing to them, you want to do it so much more. You can literally be like, oh, like you're falling apart.
Yes.
I am going to make you fucking so upset. I want you to quit so badly after this set. I'm going to do everything I can to make you feel even worse right now. Because that's the mental edge that you have on them. Like, you can just recognize the situation and be like, oh, like, I don't even need to continue playing this well, because obviously that's what I'm doing to do this to you.
Yeah.
I can play like 40% mental game now. Like, I don't even need to be playing this nice anymore. If I just keep the needle on the temperature of like how your mental is doing, you're crushed.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I definitely feed off other people's energy as a competitive player. And I've had sometimes to recenter myself in between games where I feel like I'm crumbling mentally a bit, where I won game 1 and then game 2, I thought I was going to win game 2 for the 2-0. And then somehow the game slips through my fingers and I end up losing it. And it's really frustrating when that happens because it's like, damn, I swore I was about to 2-0 this guy and somehow I end up losing. And now you're thinking to yourself, like, what did I do wrong? And you're so focused on that. And you're not really thinking like, okay, I almost 2-0'd him regardless. Like, he did come back, but I almost 2-0'd him regardless. Like, I can definitely win this third game. And you just take a breath, side deck, do whatever you got to do, and go back in it with a fresh mind. Like, I'm just going to play this game 3. Whatever happened game 1 and 2 is behind me now. I can't control it. It's already happened. Just play the game that's in front of you. Take everything one game at a time. That idea, take it one game at a time, has helped me top so many Yu-Gi-Oh events. I can't stress that enough. It just came back to me that I used to say this to myself, but I used to always say before every round, when they would say Yu-Gi-Oh player is preparing for round 8 or now being posted, I'll be like, as I'm walking to it, I would have my head kind of down. I'd be like, one game at a time, one game at a time, one game at a time. And I'll go to the pairings. I sit down in front of my opponent, introduce myself, and I would think about it like, okay, game 1, here we go. And that just helps me to always think about it like, oh, I'm not necessarily worried so much about round 8. I'm just worried about this one game that I'm playing at this very moment.
Yeah. That's the one of the biggest advice that I'll give to anybody who is trying to pretty much like increase like their player power level and anything they want to do competitive is if you're down, I highly advise you, especially if you're playing against someone who's at the top of their game, you need to try your absolute.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, we have full video versions of our podcast episodes available on the IMNerd Patreon, as well as exclusive content.
If you'd like to listen to our full podcast episodes or find us on any other social media platforms, you can do so by clicking the link tree below.